How's it going, everybody? Tony here from Kapowcast, bringing you another action figure review. Today we are taking a look at the Spider-Man retro line Daredevil. Story time. This actually hits a very somber note in my heart because this is similar, if not completely on point, to the appearance of Daredevil that I got in my first Spider-Man comic, which was a subscription service that was given to me for my birthday from my uncle and aunt. So this is very kind of like a call to heart for me. This is an absolute pickup, whether this was a crappy figure or not. So I will try to be as, I guess, picky as I possibly can on this figure so that there isn't some sort of like a bias here. But here we have that awesome retro card that I honestly didn't think I was going to like, to be perfectly honest. I like the new Marvel Legends boxes and, you know, I'm not much of a retro guy, but this looks really cool. I like it a lot. You got the old school Spider-Man cartoon call out with the side billboard to display the artwork of the figure, which I feel like I'm 8 years old again. I'm not even joking. Obviously, there's no sides to the boxes, but on the back here, you got the rest of the lineup of your wave. You have the picture of Daredevil with a little bit of a read up. So if you want to read that, make sure to hit that pause button and read up on that. Also shows you how to swap its heads, or that it's interchangeable, not so much how to, but that it's interchangeable heads. All your legal mumbo jumbo at the bottom there. And that is it for the packaging. Pretty simplistic. Let's get this thing open. Alright, and there we have Daredevil out of the box and looking awesome under these lights. I'm loving that metallic paint job. Just hits the sweet spot perfectly. We'll go over accessories real quick. I'm going to keep him in the shot. Just to kind of make things easier on myself. So you got the interchangeable head here, which you have your Matt Murdock look. You could put this obviously on any of the suited Marvel Legends bodies, and I think it would look pretty well. Obviously, make sure the hands and stuff match. Without, I don't know if I have to say that or not, but definitely make sure that the hands and stuff match. But I'm really digging this secondary head. It has slight, like, kind of black wash to give you kind of layers in the hair, which I don't personally see very often, and I think this is the best looking Matt Murdock head. I don't know if this is a repaint from something else or not. This is actually my first Daredevil figure I've picked up, but the shades are a nice bead of red. But yeah, how much more can you say about a head? He also comes with a interchangeable set of hands, a pair of ripping hands for when you want to use the his sticks with that same metallic red paint, which is not like high gloss. It's almost a semi-gloss, maybe a satin look to them, which look really good, and I really like the red that they use. It looks pretty fantastic. With those hands also come a pair of interchangeable wrist cuffs, because obviously these ones that come on the figure have the batons attached to them, which I'll get to that real quick here as soon as I finish this up. But you get those, and then obviously because the batons are not on, you get the batons as well, which we've seen these like 102 times. I'm not really too sure why they connect into a single staff, because I remember, like, I don't know if this is, I've always ever seen Daredevil use them like this. Never in my life have I witnessed him in a comic use it like this, but you know, whatever. It's a possibility. If you want to do it like that, you could do it like that. But anyways, so that is the accessories. With this guy, obviously we have these cuffs that come with the batons on them, which thank you Hasbro, because my biggest irk, and this was with the War Machine Punisher repaint for the 80th, he had these little things like on his cuff, and they don't stay. They never stay. They always seem to fall out when you want to pose them or move them around, or just randomly, and then you can't find them ever again. Case in point, me. There's like, I think I have one of the War Machine, like, little things on his cuffs or whatever they are. I don't know, like turrets. I don't know what you want to call it. But these are actually molded and attached, so you don't have to worry about that issue. And that's fantastic. That gets high points for me. The fact that these are molded to the wristband, so that way you're not going to lose them. Fantastic. But let's get an overall around look on this guy. He does, like I said, have that metallic red, and those D's are looking super duper sweet. I think they look really, really good, really awesome. I really am, God, I love this metallic red. I think it just looks so good. And from what I'm seeing, like I said, this is my first Daredevil figure, so I can't be 100% on what I'm about to say, but this looks like a completely new mold. It's not a reused Daredevil mold like pretty much every single solitary other repaint Daredevil, between the all red to the red and was it red and yellow, and then the black. All of them were just pretty much the same thing repainted, and I do absolutely love the head sculpt on this guy, and the symmetry of everything just looks so, it's so good. It's almost like completely spot on. Now I will say a couple of the cons that I have is these are not like they are a slight metallic, but they're not super metallic. Like they're not like some of the paint jobs that we've seen on, I think, was it the Power Rangers collection, that where it's like the super metallic, and we've also seen it in this line too, in the Marvel Legends line. And they're kind of, I don't know if it's going to look like this on final product, but they are getting washed out from the lights. There's just no way to balance the lights and the super darks. You just can't light both of them. So that's a major thing, is I wish these were probably a little bit more metallic and less kind of just plain old silver. I think the other one's actually an articulation. So let's get rolling on the articulation. I'll point out the other one on the articulation. It's not that big. It's still a small thing, but it's still there. So articulation for this guy, his head is on a ball joint, can go all the way around. Go and look up about that much. You can look down. Basically not at all. You can, there we go. I just had to pop over. Look down that much. Got your shoulders, which you get hindrance from the shoulder guards here, so it goes up probably about yay much, and you can kind of get it to go around all the way. You kind of clip the edges here when you start to go around. You have a bicep swivel, which you get some rub on that shoulder pad as well, and got your double jointed elbows here, and then you got your wrist swivel, which that clears perfectly as long as you have these hands on, and then you have a bend in the wrist as well. For diaphragm, you got your diaphragm joint going up like this, back that nothing, nada. You do not have the butterfly joints on these, if you are wondering. You have your waist swivel there, which it's all seems like it's all ratcheting joints. So yeah, leg can go up that much, go back that much, and you got your thigh cut up here. Got double jointed knees there. Now here comes my biggest peeve, and I can't believe it's in articulation. You do not have a boot cut on this guy. Very often do I utilize that boot cut, because sometimes, kind of like these guys, these feet, I don't even want to push it. They're the stupid ratcheting ones where it's like, oh, you gotta go there. That's all you can get is there. And then you have to push it up. And these pegs are always placed so oddly in these ratcheting joints. And then you gotta go, oh, that's it. And you got one click down like that. You do have the ankle pivot, which I just don't understand. It's so weird to have a ratcheting ankle joint and then have the pivot. It just doesn't make any sense to me. So I'd say that's probably the two biggest cons, is like this paint up here, and then pretty much the lower leg right in here is that you got You got your ratcheting ankle joints. This one is stuck. Got your ratcheting ankle joints, and then there is no boot cut, and that's kind of a bummer. I wish that the boot cut was there, but that will do it for the articulation. So I guess now we go to the comparison shots real quick, because I'm sure there's probably some people out there that would like to know. I was able to save the retro card. So the way I did it was I cut a little flap here in the bottom. I don't know if we can see this. And then I just slid the tray out. I tried to do this with the Slimer and the Stay Puft. Didn't work out too well because their plastic is not flat here on the side. It was kind of like flat, and then it was grooved in the center, so it was almost impossible to kind of cut a perfect area on the bottom to pull it out. So if you want to save your retro cards, there you go. Cut a flap, pull out the thing, and you can put it right back. I was not the first one. Mike was actually the first one. He demonstrated it on the Storm retro card review. So check that out and you can see. Take an X-Acto knife or something. Don't use scissors. Too complicated. All right, comparison shots. And here we have Daredevil next to Scarlet Spider-Man Marvel Legend. Favorite one. Here we have Daredevil next to the Armored Spider-Man from the Demo Goblin Wave, because everyone's got to have some armor. And because I don't have Electro, this is going to have to do. Here's Daredevil next to Silver Sable, which pretty much uses the same body mold as Electra. Could be wrong, but at least it's another female. And of course, you can't do comparisons without putting Daredevil next to the Kingpin Build-A-Figure. Cannot wait for November to get that retro Kingpin, even though it's a repaint. Sue me. I love the colors of the show. Okay, so all in all, I would say that this is a hot start for the Spider-Man Retro Wave with our reviews. This Daredevil is pretty great. Not perfect as for the ratcheting ankle joints, the no boot cut, and then the oddball silver that kind of just washes away. But major perks to the satin black and the metallic red, and those D's look so good on his chest. I think they look just spot on very well. I wish we'd get an update for the batons. They just, like here, it looks a little bit too big for his hands. Retro card packaging was superior. I loved it. Not superior Spider-Man. So all in all, this was a hit with me. I think that if I don't know. I think this is a good figure, but I can see where someone wouldn't pick it up. It's not the classic Daredevil look, but it's still a really good reiteration of the Daredevil costume. You know, you kind of get rid of the old and bring in some new, and you're kind of in there in the 90s era where this was like kind of the look. The armored look really kind of came to the forefront. Obviously, this suit has a soft spot with me, so I am a little bit biased in the decision, but all in all, I think that, you know, if you're a Daredevil fan and if you're a Spider-Man fan, then this is a definite must grab. And if you're a fan of really awesome paint jobs, definitely have to grab this one up. That'll do it for this review. Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe and hit that bell for notification if you do feel the need to. And we will continue on with this Spider-Man Retro Wave of reviews, so you might want to do that. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.